And welcome to another episode of Analyzing Horror. I am the Digital Guru in the Digital Guru Studios in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And 1,000 miles to my west is Lauren. How are you doing?
I'm good. Doing good. How are you?
Just good?
Yeah, I had some technical difficulties trying to get on. I'm still recovering from that.
See,
But
it's an
outside of that,
ongoing
I'm good.
it's an ongoing thing. Now we've done a few of these podcasts now, and
I
you've
knew you
been on
were gonna
time
bring that
once.
up. I knew you were gonna bring that up. Okay.
I
Yes, I've
know.
been party a couple of times.
Okay, wait. Are you telling me to put it in the box and put the box in the corner?
That would be nice, but I know you won't do it.
You realize there's already a stack of boxes in that corner.
There's just one big box. Just put it in there.
Also, I thought everything we've been doing has been like different boxes. So this is one big box.
Yeah.
Does it say Pandora on the top of it?
Yeah. It's like death to ye all who enter or something like
But
that.
trust me, I know some of those things in the boxes and I am not opening them up. Okay. Now,
Enter your own risk kind of thing.
exactly. That's exactly how it is. We've been doing some concept podcasts in the past year. We've done sharks, we've done insects, which was one of your favorite ones, spiders, which is another one of your favorite ones,
Oh.
clowns, and we won't even talk about the clown and falling down. So um, we decided to go back to the roots. And the first time I had even met you was The Exorcist, and I had seen what you have done, and you're a great writer, a great person who can you can see a movie and analyze it, which is why this is analyzing horror. So we
Yeah.
decided to go back and do one of those, and we're going to do a classic. Stephen King, to me, one of his, there we go. People who are looking at this know what that is. Red Rum, Red Rum, Red
Rad
Rum.
rum, rad rum.
Shining. I believe that The Shining is probably one of Stephen King's best pieces. What do you think?
I completely agree. And that's a good part of what I would like to talk about is that like I have the actual movie here, but I've reread the book multiple times and I think that it's just really well done. I find myself when I reread it, like I can get it done. Like I try to pace myself, but it's at least 24 hours. Like I get it done right away. It's such a easy read and not like easy isn't a silly word to
To put
categorize
on
it.
Stephen King, I
But
know.
yeah, but because it's like it's so scary and especially if you're like even like a thriller horror fan, that kind of thing. Like it just like oh shit, like what happens next? Like, and it's so silly because for me, like I do the same thing with horror movies and stuff where I've seen it before, but I'm just like, oh, like I jump at the same jump scare every time. So it's the same thing with Stephen King where it's like I reread it and I'm just like, oh my God, what happens next? I'm like, wait, I know, but I need to know. So it's such a good read and I really enjoy it. And that was why I was going to bring up like the movie is very different and I believe I read that Steven doesn't like this adaptation,
Right.
which is appropriate, I understand, but I can love the original like the book and then I do very much love the movie. So like I can see where he's coming from, but I think that what was it? Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
He
Great
did
director.
he did a really good job. Um, Miss Shelley, I don't like how that happened, but outside of that, I thought that it was really well done.
So you
Uh,
don't like the character of Shelley Duvall that she did with Wendy?
no, I'm saying that the way that she was treated.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But Jack Nicholson, like she did a great job, obviously, and then
Yes.
Jack Nicholson did a great job, phenomenal job, honestly. Like I saw behind the scenes things where he's like jumping, like kind of getting into like crazy mode. I'm just like, oh God. This is just not Jack Nicholson, but he's turned into ah.
Yes. All
But
work and no play.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, the development, both I feel like that was another thing that Steven had a problem with was like Jack was essentially crazy from the get-go
Yes.
in the movie, whereas I liked the gradual descent into chaos, and he had more of a like there was one time where he talked to his son where it's like get out of here, like he kind of pulls himself out of there for just a second, but he's basically got by the hotel.
Hmm.
I like that dynamic, but then I also think this movie is incredible. I watch it every like Halloween season or winter because the snow scene, obviously.
Hmm. Well, I know that it's difficult to do like the character, gradually getting crazy when you've got a 2 hour movie as compared to a 250-page book, and that you
Mhm.
have to you have to jumpstart everything when you're doing a movie. And I believe Kubrick did a really good job with that. I agree with you though. I would love to see. I like the book, better because it brings it in the suspense, the what's going on next. How's it just, bringing him into the depths of hell.
Yeah, yeah, and that's always the thing, right? Where we've been on here enough where like you know how I feel about like Harry Potter and like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Like
Hmm.
often those books provide the opportunity for the reader to be inside the character's mind. So like, and that is what Steven did, where like you get to kind of like feel him like he's reading something and you get to have his thoughts like on page and stuff like that. So it's
Hmm.
hard to depict that on a screen. And so I can appreciate why it's like oh it's not the same, but then at the same time like can you really do that right? And so but that's why if I like a movie and I know it's based off of a book, I always go straight to the book. So
Hmm.
I've watched the Shining, I've watched the movie first and then went to the book, and I was really happy with how well it was written. But then it's always really nice sometimes you go from movie to book and then it's basically the same thing, and while it's still good, it's just like well I basically read the movie. But with this one I understand where Stephen King is coming from, where it's not honoring the original source material in that way. I think that it does, but it does it in like a different stylistic way.
Hmm.
But like the original, like the book is it's very good. And I like that it's a little bit different because you can kind of have different flavors, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Um, a lot of the times you're looking at horror movies, and it's the special effects that people are gravitated toward. The blood and the gore, and the how many heads are going to be chopped off. In this book, it's more of a psychological getting in your mind. I mean, in the movie as well, and I love that portion of it.
Oh, I love that. And that, I mean, you call that its own genre too, but I think that that's so that it's so well done, you know? Where like you could say, oh, it's paranormal and like what do people think now? Like Conjuring and Insidious, like those are the first two that I would guess that modern uh, horror movie fanatics would talk about. And of course, people go back and look around, but like this one is just so good because it's a haunted place, and then it's also taking over a father, and he even was it's kind of like 1408, right? Where it's
Hmm.
like it just slowly takes it upon you, and then it's not just the dad because oh heck, what's the kid's name?
Um, I don't know. You called me him the other day,
Danny.
Danny.
Danny. I just needed a sec. But yeah, and it like it affects him too, and like the classic like two little girls in the blue dresses come play
Come
with
play with me.
for forever. And then the woman in the bathtub, like that one was really creepy
It
too. But
was, yeah, that one, yeah.
I love how it, especially with the movie, you kind of are just you're all along for the ride. You don't really know what's happening. Like they don't know what's happening either. Like everyone's just confused and just like things are happening and um shit like Shelley's trying to get everybody out. She's like, no one's listening. It's like, that would be me. I'd be like, let's get the fuck out of here. But then the snow and it's the perfect horror situation where it's like everyone like I see danger, let's get out, but then there's a snowstorm. There's no way to get out of here. That's the point of why we're here because we're trying to take care of a place that won't be able to be accessed and like, it's really great. I love it.
Is it a must watch where let's say you're scanning the dial and you see the beginning of The Shining and you go, okay, I'm stopping right here. I'm going to watch this.
Oh yeah. I mean, even the opening music, like in
It's scary.
the I think I read somewhere that it was like they did it they muted the audio but it was like a helicopter that was following them like in the car scene at the very beginning.
Hmm.
And then the score is just so well done. Like that's iconic, right?
It is
Like,
iconic. Um, I get to be a part of this conversation a little bit more than normal because I've actually been to that hotel.
yeah, tell me about that.
I've stayed at that hotel. It is the Stanley Inn in Estes Park. When you walk into that hotel, it's an eerie vibe. The vaulted ceilings when you're walking into the foyer area, you realize that this is where Stephen King was when he got the idea for The Shining. And he stayed there for a while and wrote a lot of the notes down for that movie. One of the weird things is that the drive that you see on that first drive going up to the Estes Park or to the Overlook Hotel.
Is it about the same?
No, it is 150 miles south. That's on Route 6 Loveland Pass. That's not even anywhere near. It does not go up to Estes Park. That's the power of cinema and movies is that
I wonder where they actually filmed that because if it's not accurate, like where the heck were they driving? Because
they
it
were
was
driving. I
a
know
long
where they were
road.
driving. They were driving on Route 6 from outside of Colorado Springs toward the mountains. It's called Loveland Pass. It's the Loveland Highway, Route 6. And that goes nowhere near Estes Park, but it is a beautiful drive. And that is the iconic scene that you see in
Okay.
the Overlook Hotel. The Overlook Hotel, the Stanley Inn, does not have a maze in the back. It does not have any of that. That's all made up.
Or like the greenery animals or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
See, and that's a little disappointing, but obviously Hollywood has created that. But to take it down to the bare bones and realize that was the hotel he was at, and the hotel's supposed to be haunted. So that's one of the things that's on my bucket list to go back again and do a podcast from there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We've discussed like yeah, that's on my bucket list for sure. I just think that would be so cool. I think we've also talked about, like if we've had like what like supernatural experiences or what have you. And like my big one is when I was in Canterbury in the UK, uh that there was a tea room where the second floor was apparently like haunted and it had a bunch of like so I walked into this room and there were a bunch of like different like letters and photos and stuff of like apparently what transpired up there and I just like I really felt something and it was just a room. So if I go to a hotel, like I'm just gonna be like freaking out. But like as a horror fan, like it'll be in a good way where it's just like, oh my God.
It would. I could see getting off the elevator and looking, and I know that you would look both ways, going, "Are the twins here? Are the twins here? They've got to be."
I'll just every corner, like I'll just be like Danny, and I'm not even looking for the twins. I'm just like, are we okay? Are we good? Something's gonna jump out at me. I'm pretty sure. But it's like not even like it's not like Halloween Horror Nights where like somebody like jumps out at you. It's just a gradual like it looks safe and then all of a sudden becomes not so.
And that's what I like about the movie. It's got Alfred Hitchcockian feel to it, where
Yes.
it slowly starts to turn up the fire, turn it up a little bit more, turn it up a little bit more, and you gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like and that's why I personally just love the movie so much, even though I love the book as well, because I feel like Steven's like, oh, well, Jack's character is crazy from the get-go. And yeah, he seems a little bit mental, but did he not break Danny's arm before they
Yes, he
moved?
did.
So he was already kind of crazy. He's dealing with alcoholism. So, like, does he not have his own demons already? So I see it, but I understand why, because it's like it's not his vision. But I think it works really well after reading the book and like loving the movie. Where yeah, so it's like it still is a gradual thing where he seems kind of mental, but then he gets proper mental.
That's exactly. Now I know that you've seen the inside of my studio and my condo, and I've got the posters in the back. Those are some of my iconic ones that I love. Creature from the Black Lagoon, Jaws, which we've talked about, The Godfather, which is amazing. Oh, you're gonna go get something?
Yeah, I haven't hung it yet because it's still in like moving mode, but
Oh yes, that's good. That needs
it's
to
like
be in
it's
the
kind of like
studio.
tin and it has like a little straw hangy thingy.
That needs to be in the studio here in the in the Digital Guru studio.
Fine.
Well, Christmas is coming up here soon.
And you're not gonna get it for your Christmas present. But yeah, I have stuff that I have so many things I still need to hang up. But yeah, that's one of my prized possessions.
But the fourth poster that sits behind my wall in the studio in my condo is The Shining. And if we're ever there in the Stanley Inn and you just happen to see me and I'm typing all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, don't even wait around. Get the hell out.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for you to get a freaking axe. I will be heading wholly out. You
Do
can
you
even have
know?
my clothes. I'm just out.
Now this is before because the movie was back before a lot of the technology. They had to have someone type all those pages of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
And that's part of what the whole thing of it is that there was so much detail put into it. You know, for lack of a better phrase, back in the day, like a lot of time and effort went into, the performances, the settings, the score, like uh, like how getting that right angle or that right scene. And then, like you said about like who wrote all of that repeatedly. Like it's so I again, like I understand that there are complications when it comes to like how Stanley Kubrick went about his style, but it's a beautiful movie and it's absolutely captivating.
It is.
Similar to the book, it draws me in immediately and it doesn't let go until the end. Like it just and then you also feel like at least for me, I feel like I'm drawn in immediately. And then I also feel like I'm going along the ride because you get all three characters' perspectives, right? So like you feel like you're going insane with Jack, and then like you're getting terrified with Danny and like the red rum, and then and
Nice.
then the whole wife thing, and yeah, so yeah, it's she's Wendy, right? Yeah.
Yes.
She it feels a little bit more not to disrespect the movie, but I feel like in the book she's a little bit stronger of a
Mhm.
character. And then again, that's why I like both. But it's just it's very enthralling. I
I have
really
an
love it.
interesting question to ask you. And I
Okay.
just thought this question, and I think it's a pretty good question.
Okay.
Okay. She's like, uh-oh, what's the question? See,
I
she
know.
always says that she'll cock her head to one side, and it's usually the right side is what she does. I
Stop
know.
it.
I know you. I know you. No, but you're okay. Let's take this movie for instance, and we have basically there's three characters, main
Right?
characters.
Mhm.
Okay, and let's take Danny out because he is a boy. Okay, there's a man and a woman. When you watch the movie, do you kind of go with the woman and feel what she's feeling since you are a woman. Because when I watch it, I think of as a guy being part of being who Jack is. I didn't know if you do that or not in some small way.
I definitely do. I mean, I've read books where the protagonist is a guy, so like I obviously can relate and find sympathy in that. And um, with the movie, I feel like that sounds crazy. But but in the book, like I specifically remember this section of the book where he's like in the attic and he's reading things and you can like he's starting to feel like he's getting taken over a little bit. So of course, like as a human being, I can find sympathy in that. But then Wendy, especially in I mean, of course in the movie, but in the book, like I said, she's more of a take charge, like oh shit, something's happening, like I'm gonna do something about it, like a final girl kind of era kind of thing vibes. So I feel like it's a little bit of both, but so book a little bit of both, but in movie, it's definitely I'm Team Wendy, even though I love Jack Nicholson.
Well, as a guy, and I hate to say it, I'm Team Jack. I can see, and obviously I can't see him going crazy, but it's kind of like, you know, if you hear me typing, if you don't hear me typing, whenever I
Oh,
see that
oh,
scene,
you're
I'm
on
like,
his side during that scene. Wow. Wow. Okay. Glad to know that.
glad to know that ahead of time. Okay, and now the trip to the Stanley End is off now. So obviously, to me, it's a classic. Are you saying it's probably one of the top 10 movies of all time?
It's hard to say because then we're talking about like all movies, or are we talking more like horror movies? Because
Well, and again,
uh,
we
class,
had go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say like a classic horror movies all time, I would say yes. I
Okay.
mean, I you know me, I'm biased on
I
fantasy
know.
and stuff
I know
like
you
that
are.
too. So it's like, well, Princess Bride might go above this.
I know
But
we had a pre-podcast meeting and we were talking about okay, desert island, you can only watch these movies, what's it gonna be? And you asked me and I said the four on my wall are the ones I would watch. And that's Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Shining, Jaws, and The Godfather. Those are my four.
no. And I would probably just die in the ocean because I could not pick four.
I know it'd have to be a Harry Potter. I know it would have to be.
Yeah, yeah, I would. And then at least one Disney movie, one fantasy movie, and then I would have to cheat and get at least two different horror movies. And then that doesn't count. So then that's why I'm gonna die in the ocean.
Oh my goodness. You'd be looking at me going, you don't need all four of your movies, do you?
I was like, do you have room in your bag?
I see how that is. So I mean, if we're going to grade these things, and I love to grade stuff, I would give it probably a straight A on everything it is, because there's really nothing that I see lacking in that.
Oh, absolutely. And I've already kind of embellished on it, but I love the fact that while the book is different, and of course it came first, I think the book is fantastic. So all listeners, if you are a fan of The Shining, the movie, and you haven't read the book, definitely read the book. But the movie is gorgeous. The cinematography, score, performances, setting design, like the gradual development of the horror, like it is incredible. So every time I've been on Letterbox, I've given it 5 out of 5. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yes, it would be. Um, before we go, I am going to say something though that this lady here gives me homework and she says that I have to do my homework. And one of the things that she said that she goes, if we are ever going to be continuing doing podcasts, I have to read Harry Potter. And I, 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 I don't read as much because I'm so busy and I'm in the car doing stuff. So she said, you got Audible? Yeah, I got Audible. So she goes, get Audible books. But she said, start with book three. Okay. And she didn't tell me what the hell was going to go on. And she got a text from me today saying, WTF? What the hell? And you were so happy with yourself going, I didn't tell you, and you found out yourself. We're not going to tell anybody. If you've never read, you have to read. But you
We
should have
can
seen the
say
text. You were so happy.
We can talk about Lupin. So if someone has read it, they know. If you know,
Yes,
but yeah, he was just like, "What's about to happen?" I'm like, "Hmm."
I know. And you were just waiting for me to come back with that text, weren't you?
I was so proud of myself.
Because I remember because we were talking in one of our pre-podcast meetings, and you were like, "Do you want me to tell you?" I go, "No." And she goes, "Ah, but I'm not going to." And then I know you were just waiting there, going, "When he gets to this part, I know what he's going to say."
I told him through text messages like the first time I read it, like I like was thrown off of the like onto the floor mentally. I was just like, I mean, I was like a teenager, like, but at the same time, I was just like, well,
I
why?
know, and I mean, I just yeah. And I will say something because again, she also gets on to me because I am as my nickname has been Mr. Go Go Go, because I do work too damn much. Today, because I was into the end of this book, listening to it, I actually shut my computer down and had the thing on phone. Yeah, I know. And for 45 minutes sat here in the Digital Guru podcast studios and listened to the book. It did not work.
That brings me joy.
I'm making progress, Poppet. I'm making progress.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so cool. That really made me happy though, because like I, I sent you that meme where it's like, honey, you got a storm coming.
Yes, you boy, and I
Like,
didn't realize the rest of it.
you're only book three. Like you got stuff to do.
Oh my goodness. Well, now I can't wait to get to do the rest of them.
Yeah, you just
I'm
have to.
loving this. I am loving this. Well, we're going to wrap up this one. Next week, we're going to have to come up with a different movie, but you've got, as you can see back there, literally hundreds and hundreds of movies. How can people find you?
I'm analyzing horror with an S instead of Z. Instagram, Letterbox, Goodreads. I'm also on TikTok and Threads, and YouTube, and Patreon as well,
And a podcast.
and a podcast.
Exactly. Well, we're going to wrap this up. This is Joel Wilson. I will see you on the other side, Poppet.
All right, bye.